So today we are in Sequoia National Park and we are going to hit the Congress Trail. Alright, so we're gonna park over here off the Highway 198, and when we get off the parking lot there's gonna be a map next to the restroom. So this trail is essentially a loop, so it doesn't really have an end, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna hike to 5 major trees. The first being the General Sherman. We're just gonna go through this little tunnel right here, which is pretty cool, which is just a tree that fell over and they carved it into a tunnel, obviously you could see. And right now there's a lot of snow packed in from the storm they had a while back. And there's a pamphlet right there that just talks a little bit about the trees and what gives them their size and stuff. So we're gonna head over to the General Sherman. And for the first portion of this hike, the snow is actually cleared for this path in this particular area due to the lot of tourists that come to see this tree. And this is just telling you why the trees are so big and so old. So we have made it to the General Sherman, and just look at the size of this tree. This is one of the largest trees, if not the largest tree in the world, particularly by circumference size. So I'm just gonna hop over this little fence over here, which is what I'm not supposed to do, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna get a little closer to this tree just to give you guys an idea how big and enormous this tree actually is. So this tree is big enough to be like a house. It's pretty cool. It's impressive just looking at the size. Now we're gonna head over to the Mckinley Tree, and we will start that on the Congress Trail right there. So for now, the trail is pretty well noticeable, but we're gonna reach a point where we're gonna cross this bridge which is covered in snow. And as you can see me walk through this bridge, you're gonna just notice how these trees just dwarf me. And you're gonna notice all the moss on the trees, which I think really brings out the texture of the trees, which is something I really love. Alright, so there's a lot of these trees that are falling over from the fires over the summer. So that's gonna be on this hike quite a bit, and this is just the views of the Sierra and Nevada range. And there's gonna be a lot of these carvings in these giant trees from the wildfires that tried to take these trees down, but these trees are just so massive and old that they were able to withstand many of the fires over the years, which just is another thing that makes these trees amazing. So we're getting pretty close to the Mckinley Tree. Since this path really isn't well paved due to the snow covering the path. I'm just kind of making my own little adventure here and following those little signs along the way and just kind of going around the forest. And I did use my map while hiking this trail. And we have arrived to the Mckinley Tree. And this is a pretty good sized tree. Not quite as large as the other tree, but it's still a pretty good sized tree. And I'm just going to stand next to it and just give you an idea of how big this one actually is. Alright, so now we're going to go to the house. Before we go through there, we're going to check out this little hole inside this tree, which is just pretty awesome right here. I love this. And just to give you an idea how massive this hole in this tree is, I literally just walked through it like a cave or a tunnel. And we have reached the house. The house is essentially just this group of massive sequoias that are right next to each other. And this is just what I see when I'm actually using my camera right here, just to show you guys how amazing this is. So I'm just gonna walk along these giants, give you guys a little idea of just how big these guys are. Alright, so now we're gonna go find another famous tree along this route. We're just gonna go back around because this trail's basically just a loop, so it just kind of loops around. And we have found the chief of Sequoia tree. And we're gonna go around, and there's a little like cave just to show you how big this tree is. And we have arrived to the president tree. Now we're gonna head to the Senate. This is like the house, except the trees aren't quite as massive, but still pretty big. And we're gonna go inside this little tree right here. And there's that carving we see a lot of these sequoia trees from the fire trying to take them down. And this is the Congress Trail. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.